today we're going to replace the window. The seal is broken on the inside of the glass, and so what's happening is it actually is fogging up in the winter time. So we're going to remove this. So we're going to start with a siding at the top and remove that all the way down through. I'll probably number the pieces as I take it off, just because there'll probably be a slight difference from one side to the other. And then we're going to pop the window out and reseal it and pop the new one back in. So hopefully it goes smoothly. We'll soon find out. Alright, so we'll call that 1A. Alright, that's all you need the removal tool for. So I'll keep taking off these pieces and keep numbering them as I go. So basically I'm just going to be popping the nails out, give the piece a little snap down, and then I'll show you once we get to the actual window removal itself. Okay, so now when you remove these, you pull it down a little bit, force it to one side, give it a slight little bend in the middle, it should pop out. Alright, so we're going to remove the interior trim to get ready for taking the window out. So most times there'll be a couple of finish nails down through the fur-out piece and as well through the casing, but when I looked through this I couldn't find any marks where there are actually any finish nails. So I'm going to try to just actually wiggle this a little bit first and see whether it was just kind of placed in or not. So if not, would take a nail set, punch the finish nail through, pull my trim out, and do it that way. So we're going to give this a try and see what happens here. It's got some movement. Yeah. Alright, we're going to get a little flat tool to try to give it a little pry out there, a little bit on the edges. Well, school station, but break all these. Okay, the next step is we're going to take the utility knife and score around the edges to break the bond with the caulking, and also the edges where the tape is, okay, along the seams. Then we're going to pop our nails. Alright, all the nails are removed, so I see there's a couple spots that didn't get cut through to the tie bar, house wrap. Tapping these. Alright, I'm going to want to pull out the top first, make sure I have a good hold on the window, break the seal, and just tip it towards me. Alright, we'll clean the surface off. Okay, and things look nice and dry, so there's no issue with water coming in. So I'm going to use another piece of Tyvek to cover over the part that I've removed. Actually, I'll have to probably pop this nail as well to go down through, and then I'll tuck tape it to make sure I have a good seal. Okay, we're going to get that sealed inside the opening. Through the new window. Okay, then I'm going to tuck tape the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to tape in the seams. So now I'm going to put the caulking around it, so that'll give me the tight seal I want for the window. And I'm just going to offset it about 1/4 of an inch outside of the opening all the way around, and then that'll allow it to have a good seal with the window. Okay, you want it to be a nice wide bead. Be aggressive. Okay. Alright, so the caulking's now in place, so now we're going to set the window in, and once again I'm going to put the bottom part into the opening first, and then I'm going to slide it sideways with my 3/8 inch spacer. And then I'm going to check my level again. So I've added a different shim on this side to try to get the right height to match for the level. Okay, I'm just going to work it a little bit into the caulking. Hold it in place. Check my level. Okay, so it's still showing. I want a little bit higher on my right hand side. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and replace the shim, so I'll get my other person to give me a hand. Okay, so I've changed the shim so now I have the window perfectly level. Now I'm ready to take and apply the rest of my nails on the outside. So I have it tacked so it's not going to fall out of place right now. Just in 2 corners, and now we can go finish nailing it. Okay, so as you can see, the caulking has actually come out over the edge, which is good. So I've got a good seal. I have my 2 nails that were in place to help hold it while I was inside double checking my level. And actually the window, it's important that you hang the windows. That's why we have shims on the bottom. We're going to nail it into place, and the nails go all the way in, unlike siding. When we put siding on, we're going to leave about 1/8 of an inch space to allow the siding to move back and forth. But this one's going to get nailed in, and I'm going to put a nail about every second hole all the way around the window. Okay? Alright, now one thing I'd like to do as well, and it's maybe not everybody does that, I like to put tuck tape around the seam, and so what I've actually done is put my bottom piece on first. The water will run down. So even though you have siding on, there's still some moisture that could travel behind the siding, but we don't want it traveling underneath where the window has been joined, in case the caulking doesn't produce a perfect seal. So I've done the bottom, I put one side on, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Alright, now the other thing I've seen a couple carpenters do recently is they take the piece of house wrap, cut it out an additional piece to give an extra effective layer, rather than tuck taping the top seam, just to allow that moisture to travel down through. So I'm just going to tape that in place. Alright, so now the window's in place, we have it sealed off, time to put the siding back on. This window has a wider brick mold than the one that's been removed. Okay, now to speed up the process of cutting the vinyl siding, you can use a regular circle saw and just reverse your blade. And I know I'm going to have to make a series of cuts, so I'm going to go with that method. We could also use a pair of pin snips to take and cut it. Some people will use a hacksaw. Some people will even use like a back saw with a very fine cut. So a variety of different ways to do it. I find this fast and efficient. So I'm going to loosen my bolt. And it's a reverse thread on the circular saw. Just going to turn the blade around and then be able to use this. Notice my battery's been removed. And usually it's righty-tighty, but this time it's a reverse thread, so it's actually left to tighten it. And it has a lock on the shaft on the top. Okay, what I like to do when I'm putting it in place is I get one end in first, give a slight bend into your siding, pop it by your other edge. A little bit high. Right now, pressure against it. You should feel a little bit of a click. Alright, so this piece of siding, we've got it trimmed and it will move back and forth, which is what you want. It's locked totally up in place, so now I'm just going to add a couple nails on each side to hold it there. Okay, so when you're popping the nails in, leave them out about 1/8 of an inch. There should be some play on it, because the siding's going to be able to move back and forth as it heats and cools, because it will expand and contract. Otherwise, you're going to get wrinkles in it. Alright, so the fur out is in place. I've got a brad nailed. So now I'm going to put a little bit of insulation in, just to stop from having any drafts around the window. And when you put the insulation in, you want to keep it loose, don't jam it in, because it loses its value. So just nice and soft, just basically rip the little piece, and just kind of work your way around the edges. And you want to have gloves on, you don't want to get the stuff in on your skin, and your clothing. So basically just kind of tuck it in easily. I'm just going to work my way around the window doing that same thing. So just want to make sure it's just beyond the outside edge. And it's just enough to stop any little drafts from around the window. Alright, so now I'm just going to keep working my way around the window. Alright, so the insulation's all in place around the window to hold back to any drafts, and now we're ready to put the trim on. So the homeowner wanted to put on the same trim they had before so it matches the rest of the house. So when you do this, we're going to match the existing piece of molding they had here, and you want to make sure you maintain that same space around on your fur out, top, bottom, and sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to get it in place. I'm going to put a brad nail into it, just to kind of get it held. I'll do one on the top, one on the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to take our other pieces and just make sure that matched up okay. Maintain that space as much as we can.